Hello, my friends. This is the S&P 500 Spider ETF SPY one-day reading for September 2nd, 2025. It's currently September 2nd, 2025, 9:39 a.m. Eastern Time. Um, SPY at the time of this reading, $636.95. And the shuffle video for the September 2nd reading was created yesterday at 8:11 a.m., or excuse me, p.m. Eastern Time. So what we're going to cover in this video will be the overall trend direction for the day, the timing of the highs, the lows, and the best trades. We're even going to give you the hour-by-hour sequence of chart events. It's important to understand, pay attention if you're new to this, it's important to understand that we're giving you the sequence of chart events. The hour-by-hour timing is usually on point, but there are cases where you're going to need to give it plus or minus an hour or two of wiggle room. It's a sequence of chart events that's most important to pay attention to. That's why I do not recommend trading this information alone. Only trade this information if you have access to our live Discord trade alerts and live trading view chart links, where we're actually drawing entry and exit into and out of those trades. Yeah, so we have this significant move to the downside over the weekend. That's that universe card in the pre-market. And matter of factly, the move to the downside all really happened in the pre-market. Now, overall theme is a nullified period of volatility that ends with a fast sudden move higher. Likely that fast sudden move higher, because it's a nullified theme card, likely that fast sudden move higher is canceled out with some downward behavior afterwards. Behavior on the highest high, we rally into key resistance. Once we hit that resistance, we decline from it with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down. That'll form the high for the day. And then we've got an important support level on a multi-day scale highlighted at the low. It's nullified, indicating that we likely are going to break through it. I'm advised the trade card is a ruin card, which is one of the biggest decline cards of the deck. Decline through multiple supports. However, it's nullified. And then the following day, we see it as the low significator, indicating to me that we're going to see the low. We're going to see a lower price level tomorrow, so probably safe to stay in short positions. If you're not in a short position, guys, matter of fact, like it would make sense to close if you were in a short position from over the weekend, from Monday. You chose to risk holding it longer. Basically, here we said close short positions or risk holding longer for multi-day swing. So if you're still in that short, now's not an awful place to exit out. What we're going to see here at the open is a failed attempt to break through key resistance, followed by a decline through key support. And then that's followed by a move higher, a prominent move higher on a one-day chart with a full retracement back down. And then after that retracement, we should have a big move to the upside, pushing the upper end of a range higher. So what I would do at that point, that's where I'm gonna advise to get back into shorts. I would probably do like a partial short there, because we do have some other places where we may have highs for the day, but I would want to do a partial short there before 11 o'clock. There's a peak just after 11 o'clock, so maybe right around 11 o'clock, open up that partial short. If we see more movement to the upside, a fast sudden move higher, and then bumping along resistance sideways, you might consider opening up a little bit more of a short. We should see a move back down to a support level around 1 to 2 o'clock and a sharp drop within that period of sideways rotation along support. But then that sharp drop out of it, we should see a big move from the bottom of the range all the way to the top of the range, probably taking place between 2 and 3, but probably closer to 3 than to 2. Possibly even a breakout there around 3 o'clock, taking us to highs for the day again. That's where I would complete the short position. And the reason why I'm saying put it on in partials is because there's really no trade advisement here at the end of the day. This could be like a hugely slanted down day. It's possible. Making these, rather than these being highs, these would just be like a spike. In any case, I always go with trade advisement. That's why I'm saying partial. And if you've got the live Discord trade alerts, obviously I'll tell you in real time when I think it's time to get into that short. If you don't have the live Discord trade alerts, my friends, do not trade this information alone. You'll be right some of the time, but the timing, like I said, is off occasionally, plus or minus an hour or two of wiggle room. It's something that took me 26 years to get this good at. nobody's made this many mistakes using tarot to trade the market. I guarantee you, nobody has made as many mistakes as I had. And why do I say mistakes? Because that's how I learned. Don't make the same mistakes that I made. Benefit from the lessons I learned by utilizing that Discord. Guys, the Discord is simple. You go to our website, Tarot for Traders, hover over Order Now, click on Subscriptions. Early access subscription gets you live Discord trade alerts for SPY, and it gets you the chart drawings for SPY. It also gets you the earliest access to any of our public posts. They come out on our Discord channel first. And those chart drawings, all of that for $150 a month, guys. It's severely underpriced, and I mean, you make that back and quite a lot in one trade. I mean, it's a no-brainer, especially if you already have some trading experience. You're looking for something to kind of like give you a little bit of an extra edge. This is a system that basically nobody in the market uses. They don't know about it. They weren't crazy enough to spend 26 years developing it. And why is that so significant? Because when you want to make money in the market, you've got to be right, but also when everybody else is wrong. Like that's how it works. So if they're not using the system and you are, it's quite an edge. You can see we're already down here. So as far as chart drawings are concerned, this is an example of what you would get. Usually it's ahead of time. We're probably, remember guys, if you didn't close out of that short, we're probably going to have a retracement back down in the next few minutes. Well, I should say before 10 o'clock. Move higher, full retracement, right? So when we come back into that full retracement, I would look to close the short. No biggie if we don't have a full retracement and you don't close a short, because the following day really is where we're going to see, I feel pretty strongly we're going to see a low there. Why? Because the trade card is nullified and then we see it as the low the following day. When we look at the 1 month, we've got this unicursal hexagram decline here for the second, and you can see that definitely took place. But then the following day, we've got a rally that turns over. So on the third, a rally that turns over, offering opportunity. Probably come back down to lowest lows or lower thus, like we're at a lowest low thus far. But we might go lower on the 5th. It's possible. Probably the same low, but it is possible we go a little lower. In any case, tomorrow morning is where I'd want to close out of that short. All right, and you can see we're already retracing back down. So if you've got a nice nice gain on a short trade, it's always good to take profits early, guys. Don't concern yourself with max gain. Like max gain is a trap. It's something that noobs do. Like a master trader does not concern themselves with max gain. They concern themselves with the most probable entry and exit for a profit, right? So with that said, good place to exit is within this ellipse that I've just put up. The way that you read this closed short CS, and then the date of when the ellipse was added to the chart. I need to change that. I would say we're likely going to have opportunity to hop back into a short partial if you're just joining us, a partial in the next hour. And then I would add to it around midday if we're at a high, add to it at the end of the day if we're at another high. And then you've got that fool card in the post market. That's probably a significant drop, guys. So I would look to exit out of shorts at the open tomorrow. So that retracement is probably still in play. So what we just had was likely to be the move higher, testing resistance, right? This resistance right here. It's a failed attempt to break through resistance. And then we have a decline back down, right? So that's that defeat card in action. Now we should see this move to the upside with a full retracement. And if you're new to the channel, guys, normally these SPY one-day readings are coming out early ahead of market. We're going to be putting out quite a few of them late throughout the day today. You can find all that stuff on our channel, Tarot for Traders. But again, please do not trade this information alone. It took me more than a decade, guys. More than a decade to figure out how to trade this information like consistently for a profit, because it's so different from what I learned as a Wall Street broker and as a day trader. With technical analysis, you're using price levels for entry and exit. With SO meta-analysis, which is this system, you're using timing and sequence of chart events. And that's where it gets tricky, because the timing is usually on point to the hour, but there will be cases where you need to give it plus or minus an hour or two of wiggle room. And that's because these cards going left across to right across the screen are what we call timeline cards in SO meta-analysis. They represent about an hour of time, but not each card's energy necessarily lines up perfectly with 1 hour of time. So you need to be careful and stick with the Discord trade alerts. If we talk about a trade ahead of time and then in real time we're not talking about it, feel free on the Discord to bring it up. We have ADD, sometimes that happens. Also, if you're interested in asking questions on any of our lives, that's something that you get with our monthly access subscription. It gives you access to a lot of extra content it gives you access to everything that early access has, but it also gives you access to day-by-day sequence of chart events for these stickers here, Bitcoin and crypto, Bitcoin, Nvidia, QUBT, Solana, Tesla, XRP. You get that day-by-day sequence of chart events, the timing of the highs and lows and all the trades. But what's also important is you get that live stream questions. When we do lives, which we haven't done in a while, but we're getting back into it now, that's where you would ask the questions. Now, let me look at this from a 1 minute standpoint. Yeah, matter of fact, so this looks like this was the defeat card here. Yeah, I think we're probably still in the art card. There's about 8 minutes left in the hour. I think we're probably still in the art card, and we should see a move back to the downside. But if we don't, either way, there's going to be a big move, probably pushing up through this universal price level into a high for the day thus far, midday. So it's in this move to the upside, this push to the upside in that 10 to 11 o'clock hour that I would recommend, that I will be recommending opening up a partial short. So bumping along midday, revisiting support, 1 to 2 o'clock, sharp drop, and then out of that sharp drop, big move from the bottom range to the top range, maybe even higher, so probably back to highs. But if this is a super bearish trend day, then this like sequence of events will get slanted to the downside. That's why I'm advising putting on partial short here, because it's always best to go with what the trade guidance says to do and not try to freestyle. Right? Even when it looks like it makes sense to freestyle, there's usually a reason why the trade advising is telling you differently. So probably going to get our retracement back down to roughly around this price level here. Right? And if you haven't exited a short and you're looking to exit your short rather than risk holding it into tomorrow, you're going to get another opportunity most likely within this red ellipse here in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. If that doesn't happen, just stay in the short until tomorrow morning. That full card is looking mighty enticing. The failure card is looking really solid expectation wise. But then to top it all off, we've got this nullified ruin card, which if you're familiar with SO Meta, then you've heard me say when there's a nullified card, it makes sense to look at the next reading and see if that card appears. In cases where it appears, it's usually why it was nullified. It's telling you to hold on. That trade that is tomorrow to close that short. It's tomorrow in the morning. Hmm. We're kind of like in one of those areas where it could be here or we might already be in the push to the upside. So I want to wait and see what happens. Either we continue higher or we retrace and then we go higher. Either way, the main trade right now is to hold that short into tomorrow. And if you're not in a short, we're looking for this move to the upside to enter into a short. So I wouldn't do it just yet. I'll advise when to do it. We'll either go higher or we'll retrace and go higher. Either way, I'm waiting for that go higher moment. Something that you'll get advised in real time on the SPY alerts, the Discord alerts for SPY. If you don't have that stuff, guys, really just utilize these readings for paper trading to test out the system if you want. Makes sense to check. I mean, I'm not that crazy guy online, but you don't know that. I could be. And a smart trader is always cautious. Rule number one is to protect your capital. So if you're new to the channel, don't say, oh my God, he's been right so far. Let me throw all my money into what he's saying. That would just be like super, super foolish. Paper trade it. If you want to trade this information seriously, get the Discord. It's $150 a month. It's so underpriced for what you're getting. I mean, when we used to rate my accuracy, which we stopped doing a long time ago, like months and months and months ago, just because it was such a waste of time after seeing us, people that follow us see our accuracy. We don't need to keep measuring our accuracy. But what we were doing is we were taking the number of statements made and we were dividing the number of correct statements by the total number of statements made to get the accuracy. My accuracy was in the 90s almost all the time, guys. Right? So with that said, $150 a month for a trader is like nothing when you're making those kind of successful trades regularly. What you're actually getting on the Discord, the earliest access to any of our public posts, they come out on Discord first. SPY day trade alerts and swing trade alerts, a chat channel, ask all your questions, and a convenient place for all of the SPY data, because there's a lot of it. We do these predictions hour by hour, day after day. We've been doing SPY hourly predictions, hour by hour predictions on a daily basis on YouTube. My God, how long has it been? It's been years. Every single trading day. We probably missed a few, like a handful total in the last few years. All right, guys. So with that said, I'm going to roll. Those of you that've got the Discord, stay tuned for when I see that short entry. It's likely to be somewhere around here. Let me see. Back down. That's the 200-day there. CS equals closed short. If you're new to the channel, red ellipses, where we expect to see troughs and lows. Green ellipses are where we expect to see the opposite. OS, open short. And then the date predicted on 9/02/25. That's how you read the notes in these drawings. So I would look to exit once we've entered in, or excuse me, I would look to open up another short when we've entered into this green ellipse here. Wonder why that looks so much darker. Weird. All right, guys. So with that said, I'm gonna roll. Keep an eye out on the Discord, on the live Discord, for the update when I expect to get into that short. And guys, if you're new to the channel, you're looking to get on the Discord, you go to our website, Tarot for Traders, hover over Order Now, click on Subscriptions. Early access subscription gets you the earliest access to any of our public posts on our Discord channel. It gets you the SPY day trade alerts, the SPY swing trade alerts, and the chart drawings like what I was just showing you in real time. All that for $150 a month, guys. You make it back in one trade. We're right most of the time. Like, most of the time. The interesting thing about ESO meta-analysis is that when we're wrong, there's usually a backup exit, and the backup exit will usually be right. So even when we're wrong, there's usually a quick fix. And that's the power of ESO meta-analysis. We can actually plan backup exits. But I will leave you guys with that. Much love for joining me this morning. And blessings to all my angel investors following the rule of karma for the channel, which is to go to the resources tab of our website, donate 5% of all profits forward to one of these charities, 5% of all profits back to the channel through one of these links, leaving you with 90%. Make sure to spend that out of love. Following those rules makes you an angel investor. It also gives you faith, gratitude, and a clear conscience, which are key components in manifesting more abundance and wealth. So blessings to all my angel investors. Look out for the rest of the dailies to come out, the September dailies to be coming out later today on the Discord. If you don't have the Discord, you'll have to see those the morning of.